you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back for round 7 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series, brought to you by Inside Lane Productions and Quasi Esports. Kobe Jordan still behind the cameras tonight, and James Watson in the booth. How you going, James?
I'm doing all right. Looking forward to tonight's race and seeing how last week's race played out, and seeing if we can get another similar finish to this one.
Well, the recap from last week at Kentucky Motor Speedway, we saw Craig Roffey return to the top podium step, with Andy Barber fighting his way into the podium, coming home in second, and Chris Bleakley finishing in third in what was a bit of a fuel race. So I noticed tonight that we'll bring up the stats for the track and everything. We've got a drop in fuel load tonight, so it's actually 50% fuel tonight, not 60. And we are at Kansas Speedway for a 1.5 mile track, 100 laps. So it'll be interesting to see how that drop to a 50% fuel load tonight goes, if it'll be a fuel race again or if we'll have some pace race tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see fuel mileage play into it like we did last week. It took a pretty Herculean effort from the top three to even make it work to begin with at 60% fuel. So I just don't think it's going to be viable. And, you know, I guess the admin saw what happened last week and was like, nope, don't like that, and decided to lower it further, which isn't necessarily the worst thing, because, you know, fuel mileage races aren't necessarily the most exciting thing to watch. Personally, I always enjoy them because, to me, not being able to know for sure which car is going to pull off the strategy, who's going to be able to save the most. So that's when the race is at its most unpredictable, but it's still overall not as exciting for the folks at home. So I think this is going to result in a much more fun race to watch and for us to call.
Yeah, definitely. And might see some more meatballs tonight. Might be having Italian for dinner. But guys, just wrapping up on their practice sessions and rolling over to qualifying. We'll bring up our current top 10 standings. And we have Craig Roffey in the top spot at the moment, the man to beat. 226 points there, with Chris Bleakley in second on 209 points. Then we drop back into the hundreds. So Gary Wellman in third with 178. Cade Donnelly, Scott McClintock in your top 5. Adam Malone, Nicholas Walsh, Rick Vincent, Todd Maxfield, and NEJ Barber in your top 10. Well, any Barbara. Well, that could be Ryan, maybe. No, but no, that's Andy there.
I guess we're gonna get the D later. Ayo! I'm sorry. I had to do it. I would have kicked myself if I didn't go for the joke. I just couldn't. I had to.
And we'll be right back after a break with that one. But the guys are on track now for qualifying. So not sure who we've got on board there at the moment out on track. If we can get a name up on that one, that is Carl Wilkinson Withy. So after a black flag penalty on the start last week for a little bit of naughty boy accidents there on jumping the gun on the green. Well, hopefully he'll be looking to have a better run tonight. So we've got Troy Davidson at the top at the moment, 31.627. Chris Bleakley, 31.677. So pretty close there from Chris Bleakley. Couldn't quite get the job done, but we've still got more than half the field to go on qualifying. So we'll let that play out. We'll go to a quick ad break, and then we'll be back with our standings.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Welcome back, and thank you to everyone tuning in at home tonight for round 7 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series. We've got the results, and Troy Davidson is taking the podium for the grid. So, number 1 spot on qualifying goes to Troy Davidson, with Craig Roffey on the front row next to him. Cade Donnelly and Chris Bleakley in the second row. Todd Maxfield and Gary Wellman on the third row. Shannon Wright and Tony Roffey on the fourth row. And Nicholas Walsh and Carl Wilkinson Withy rounding out the top 10.
And in P11, we got Perry Anastakis in the 144 and Peter Matson in the 173. Row 7 features the 02 of Darren McKenzie and the 3 of Adam Malone. 15th is Ryan Barber in the 05 and Andy Barber in the 20, and all Barber row 8. Jared Williams in the 96 and Tim Blundell in the 4 are row 9. Troy Mortensen in the 83 and Peter Jones in the 13 on row 10. And Scott McClintock rounding out the field in row 11.
Alrighty, well, as we're at Kansas Speedway tonight for 100 laps. Just over 1.5 miles, 1.3 there. And of course in Kansas City, air temp 73 and track temp 76. South wind direction at 8 miles per hour, so the wind's picking up out there. We are out on track, so pace truck is out and we will be underway in just a moment. But RJ cheering on the Southern Stars boys tonight, so good evening to you and hope you enjoy the show tonight. Just making our way around now, and pace truck will be pulling in just a moment, and Troy Davidson will be taking us to green. Bit of a Sim Boys lineup there on the inside line. Troy Davidson, Cade Donnelly, Todd Maxfield there. So nice little lineup for them. And we are green and underway. So a nice jump there from Troy Davidson out to the front and cuts off that outside line. Craig Roffey getting a good jump as well to manage to keep on that second spot. Chris Bleakley to the inside, looking for a move for third already. Up the inside of Cade Donnelly there. And he's going to get that job done nice and easy. No messing about from Chris Bleakley. He wants to probably win this race tonight and catch up to Craig Roffey, who's just in front of them there in second. Try and get those much needed championship points. Looks like Troy Mortensen is already parked, so maybe a drop out there. He looks like he's coming back. So,
yeah, it looked like someone kind of blinked, like right as the race went green. It was a really jumbled start for everyone. Like you could tell, like from the get-go, a lot of guys didn't get a good jump, and everyone kind of scattered at the moment it was time to go.
Yeah. Just went back there, but yeah, we're just going to a replay here just to have a look maybe what happened there. Looks like it might have been Adam Malone there, blink out. So might have just upset everyone at the back there, not getting a good jump on that green. Number 4 there of Tim Blundell.
Oh!
And a bit of contact with Ryan Barber. Just unsettled here, managed to keep it going though. He's dropped him off a bit.
Heck of a save though.
Yeah, good driving there, and we're still green, so looks like everyone looking to get a good cut under the track there, but Cade Donnelly getting a real good run staying on the track up the inside there on Chris Bleakley. Had a real big run there, looking to the inside of Craig Roffey now. We'll see if he can get that job done on Craig. He looks like he's wanting to make that move to the inside. He's got his teammate there in front of him as well, Troy Davidson. So Troy's moving up high. We'll just back a little bit on the cameras there. Chris Bleakley, Todd Maxfield, and Shannon Wright on the screen with Wellman there. But, looks like we've got a bit of a battle at the front here at the moment. We've got a group of cars all wanting to try and make their way to the front of this race. Good to see so many cars at the front here. Got a 9-car group here for the race lead at the moment. Just on board there with Peter Matson. A little bit of contact. Wellman into the wall.
Oh, that's lucky that wasn't bigger.
Yeah, it could have quite easily been.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, the aggression level is 1,000 times higher than what we saw last week. Oh man.
3 wide and we're 8 laps in, so this is going to be a race tonight. We're going to have a race, not a fuel run tonight.
Yeah, remember how little cautions we got last week and all the green flag running? Yeah, I'm a wager that that's probably not going to be the case tonight with the way these boys are running out there.
Well, what are you putting your money on tonight then to happen?
I feel like with the talent level in this series, we're probably not going to get an endless barrage of cautions. You know, that we saw a couple weeks ago at iRacing Super Speedway. You know, that's a place that chaos tends to run supreme, but we still only got a couple of cautions. So I feel like there still won't be many. We'll probably get like one big one. Probably towards the end of the race, or maybe right now.
Well,
we're gonna get right now. Oh.
I was just about to say your wish is my command, and but we didn't get the caution. We got a bit of a wreck, and somehow that front bumper on Peter Matson's car just reattached itself. But yeah, we'll go to replay, have a look at that one. Todd Maxfield just coming out of that corner, didn't quite find the center of that rear bumper, catching the left rear and sent Peter for a ride.
Yeah, he kind of mirrored Ryan Preece's wreck here from like about 5-6 years ago, where he just got spun down and just all that endless runoff area just shot him straight into the wall at full speed. Looks like he just didn't anticipate Matson not really going up all the way to the wall. You saw Peter, he didn't quite track out all the way up the wall. He was still like maybe about quarter car width or so lower. And so it's tough for the car on the inside to really anticipate that. You kind of have to factor in the car on your outside tracking up to the wall, and when you're that close coming off of the corner, you just don't have enough time to A, see it, B, have it register in your mind, and C, actually do something about it. And so unfortunately it's just ended with Matson going basically head first into the inside wall.
Yeah, well, just watching here at the moment. We've still got Craig Roffey out the front with Gary Wellman in second there, and we're just having a little bit of a chat pre-race. And you wanting the guys to have a bit of a run around that top line. Well, it looks like they're moving up the track slowly. They're sort of using the middle of the track a bit more now. So this fast race, as you see now, they're in the top line. So the fast race might be having a bit more of an impact on tyres than maybe anticipated at the start.
Yeah, this is freaking cool watching supercars rip the top of the track. Like Kansas in a dedicated stock car like the next gen or the Xfinity car, like you see in real life, they're always, and even on the sim, they're always running up top because it's so overpowered here at Kansas and other similar mile and a halves like Chicagoland. So I was hoping that we would see this, just, you know, the coolness factor alone, but I wasn't really anticipating we would, just because we're dealing with a completely different type of car. But yeah, they're ripping the wall practically perfectly, and apparently Kobe says they're even clutching too to really kind of help get some sort of fuel save.
Well, I reckon it's probably more of a tyre save than a fuel save tonight, because obviously that's been dropped on the fuel load, but they're still going to have to try and make that work. And Chris Bleakley into first now. We went 3 wide into that corner with Cade Donnelly and Craig Roffey just dropping back out of that. So now Cade Donnelly making that move on the inside. They want to be mindful of their tyres and not push too hard. A little bit of contact there, Chris Bleakley in the rear of Cade. But managed to keep that thing going straight. Door knock now as well, so it's all happening up the front here. That's from Carl Withy. So Carl getting amongst it.
Yeah. Car Withy saying, I'm not going to give you a car Withy. You stay down there. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
That's a good one. I'll pay that one. We've gone to the PG show now, not the R18 show. Looks like he's making his way through now. So this is giving Cade Donnelly a nice little gap now back to this pack of 9 behind him. This little battle that was going on.
Why these two are getting all up in each other for secret spots. Cade's just pulling away. He's on the edge of getting out of draft range here. They've really kind of got to settle it down and get back going. Otherwise, Cade's just going to walk away.
He's got a nice little second gap back to Carl Withy now. So he's a man on a mission, and that gap is slowly growing. So we'll see how far he can stretch his legs, and this will be quite good for Cade. Just having a look at this pack behind, so there you can see that gap from Cade at the front to the rest of that angry mob chasing them down. And that's led by Carl Wilkinson Withy. You got Shannon Wright in there as well with Chris Bleakley. Shannon's trying to get the inside now on Chris Bleakley. He's going to get that done. And then you've got Craig Roffey and Todd Maxfield there, duking it out. Gary Wellman and Troy Davidson, your pole position for tonight. Just dropped back a bit to 8th. Harry Anastakis up into the top 10 and 9th at the moment. And Nicholas Walsh, the gatekeeper for the top 10, with Andy Barber looking to make that move now into 10th.
Yeah, just a minute ago, this lead pack was a lot smaller. You can see there was a pretty big gap from the front pack to back pack. Well, now with all the pleasantries that were exchanged between Carl and Bleakley, everyone's just kind of caught back up here. And they're all still chasing the 41.
And we've got about a 14 car pack there, so it's quite a big mob that's chasing Cade down, and he's almost got that out to a 2-second gap now, coming up 1.8 seconds. So he doesn't care about what's going on behind him. He's just looking forward and driving off into the sunset.
Well, I think he's not really worried, but just looking in the mirror saying, all right, none of you bring out a caution. Let me enjoy this almost 2-second lead.
That'll be one thing that's in his mind, because when you got that nice little gap that's growing, you definitely don't want a caution.
Yeah, because obviously this isn't a super pack race. You know, Kansas isn't like Daytona, Talladega, or iRacing Super Speedway, but the draft still does play a lot into how these cars race, and so you still get the draft kind of treating it like a normal pack. You're just having to lift more, which you're not really having to do at any of the other restrictor plate tracks. So the fact that Cade has been able to get out to this big lead, like, you're never anticipating that to happen in a draft-ish style race like this. So it's like going perfectly. It's just, please, just everyone use your heads, which does not look like they're really wanting to do at this point in time.
Well, I'm just wondering if there's a bit of tyre wear, because we got Perry Anastakis, who I just mentioned was in ninth. He's up into second now, so he's on his way through, and Andy Barber's following him. He's there in fifth, so a couple of guys have made their way through the mix of this 14 odd car pack and to the front of it. So if there is a little bit of tyre wear here, it'll be interesting to see if they can chase down Cade now.
Yeah, I feel like the guys that had been at the front of this pack obviously burned their tires up. But you wonder, like, looking at Bleakley right there, like, he's still right at the very front of this pack. So you wonder if he's now finally starting to kind of back her down a little bit and start worrying about how much wear he's putting into his tires, and now just trying to ride and save what he can. And all the guys that have been towards the end of this pack, like Perry, are, all right, we've saved enough, now it's time to go forward.
Yeah, well, hopefully that theory will work and can drag a few of these other guys along with them, and they can close that gap on Cade, which is out to 2 seconds now. So that's growing, but he's got quite a few cars behind him, led by Perry Anastakis, Chris Bleakley up into third, Andy Barber in fourth, Shannon Wright in a fifth. Bit of a scatter at the back of this pack there. But we're lap 30 now, so we've already passed a quarter of the race, and we're at lap 30 of 100 at Kansas. So green flag so far, no caution, so we should be probably looking at pit stops soon, I would say.
Yeah, it's wild how fast this race has flown by. Like, it really just feels like the green flew like 2 minutes ago, and we're already nearly a third of the way through.
It looks like Peter Jones is in the pits, so first one to pit there, I think. So he's got a black flag there, so could have been a pit entry there. We'll just have a look and just see if we can pick up something on that. No, it's not going to help too much. Apparently he's got a flat tire there, so we're a bit silent in the booth on the audio, but just getting that one through the ears, and got a flat tire, so could be some tire wear coming into play. We'll have to see how these guys out the front go. Okay, Donnelly's still got a 2 second gap over Perry Anastakis, which looks like it's just dropping a little bit through the corners. So carry on a charge. We've got a few more cars coming down pit lane now. Carl Withy, Shannon Wright, Jared Williams into pit lane. So, yeah, looking at that sort of 33 mark a few guys taking that early jump. So we'll see how far we can get on a tank run, as Cade will run that tank dry out the front. That gap is slowly closing now, as you can see, down to 1.8. Looking at a 2-stop race so far. Don't know if we'll be able to go a 1-stopper tonight with that fuel drop. It'll be very hard for someone to try and pull that one out tonight, I think, on the fuel save.
Yeah, it'd be one of the most impressive fuel strategies ever, because it was already tough to make that work last week with the 60% fuel. And so doing it with 10% less, it's like, yeah, you might want to check the length of those fuel lines if someone pulls that off.
So Andy Barber now coming down pit lane. We've got a 4-car pack chasing down Cade now. Chris Bleakley, Craig Roffey, Gary Wellman, and Parry Nastagas. So Parry just dropping back from second there to the back of this little group in 5th. And once again, that time is closing. So Kate Donnelly now making that pit stop run at lap 36. So
whoa. That was, what a pit entry for his Simboy's teammate right there. He made up, I don't even know how much time he made up. That was wild. He nearly took out the pit cone.
Looks like the meatballs are starting to fly. So Tim Blundell, the first of the meatballs. So we're going to see that one flying again tonight. Spaghetti and meatballs everywhere.
Grab the Parmesan.
Light little dusting there, or a big handful? Alrighty, well, we've got a few more guys coming through pit lane now, so looks like this is the time of pit stop where we can make it. So 38. Looks like Chris Bleakley, Craig Roffey's going another time round with Gary Wellman. So 39 laps for them. Surely they're going to be pitting in the next lap or two, I would think. Looks like a little bit of a shot over in the pit lane there. I think, was that Troy Mortensen, I think, maybe? It was, yep. Confirmed on that, so. And race leaders are going for lap 40 now, so who knows how much they're going to have left in those tanks.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna try to get as. I think they're gonna try to get as close to the 1-stopper as they can, but man, that'd be amazing if they could pull it off.
That was a nice little stop there for Gary Wellman. Got the pass done on the outside coming into pit lane there on Craig Roffey, so he caught that car up coming into pit lane. So nice little move there. That'll buy him a position. Very tight on the pit boxes there as well.
Ooh.
A little overshoot for Todd Maxfield as well. A bit of blinking there from Wellman and pit lane as well. So hopefully we don't see a connection drop out for him. That would be most unfortunate. Chris Bleakley, Wellman leaving. So looks like Roffey had quite a good stop, actually. He's beat Wellman out of pit lane now. So pretty good stop there for Chris Bleakley, Craig Roffey. We'll just see how things settle in as this race resumes after pit stop. So we'll go to a quick ad break and then we will come back.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone at home and tuning in for round 7 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOval V8 Supercar Series. And we have a little plug for tonight as well. So if you enjoy this action, we've got some new action coming for you starting on Saturday next week. So new series, Arca Sparks, and there's the league ID there, 12384. And that is a sponsored league. I can't quite read the that one, 131 Radio Network, I think. So
Is it Web Radio Network?
yeah, web radio. So sponsored league there, and going to be broadcast on the Arca Sparks YouTube channel. So that kicks off on Saturday, and that is a fixed series which is following the official NASCAR series. You will need a C-Class license with a safety rating of 2.0. There's no I rating limit, and that is at 11:30 on Queensland time on Saturday. So AM that is. So if you're kicking around during the mid-morning to afternoon and want to get your racing fix on, then come along and sign up to that new series. And round 1 will be kicking off at Dover, so plenty of action there to start with. And there is a road course in there as well with Watkins Glen. So we've got the 1.5 miles, we've got the short tracks in there, we've got the road course, so even the Super Speedway, Daytona. So it's all going to happen for that series.
Yeah, it's looking to be a great series. You know, this is a fantastic schedule. There's a lot of really great, talented, and well-known drivers in the series. Yours truly is going to be doing color commentary for it. So if you're already sick with dealing with me for this league, well, guess what? You're going to be dealing with even more of me. Yay!
All right, and I think
our very own Carl Withy will be taking care of the play-by-play duties.
Easy. I might have to get in the driver's seat every now and then for that one. Every second week I might have to jump in. Alrighty, well, we are back. We're halfway through this race now. Cade Donnelly is still out the front, so he's still holding on to that lead around that 2-second mark. So teammate now, Troy Davidson, back into second, and Andy Barber up into third. Shannon Wright in fourth, and Craig Roffey is the top 5. So good to see Andy Barber up there into third now.
Yeah, Andy has done a really good job with playing the strategy card again and getting himself up into the front. You know, he was one of the guys who was able to make that fuel save work last week and get himself onto the podium, and now he's right back fighting for another one here.
Just trying to catch up on things here. So trying to see there's Cade track. Yeah, right. So Perry Anastakis back in 7th there. Wellman 8th. Ryan Barber's moved himself into 9th spot, starting out of 15th. So he's made a few moves there. Carl Withy in 10th spot. Just going back down the list. So had a few retirees, I think, for the night. Adam Malone, Peter Matson out of this race now. Lap 56 of 100, so Cade's still leading that race. That gap slowly closing back to Troy Davidson. Looks like a 1 point, coming down to 1.5. That's dropping pretty quick now, so not sure what just happened there. It was almost 1.9 down to 1.5, so maybe a little bit of a clutch moment there.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing Troy kind of eke out a little bit of a gap back to Craig. He's sitting at about a half second in ahead, and he's kind of starting to bring down the gap to Cade himself. It's kind of hovering around that 1.6, 1.7 mark. Kind of fluctuates, kind of gets closer, kind of loses. Ooh, now it's down to 2.5 seconds. He's really starting to gain here.
So just looking at the last corner on board, then that yeah, he sort of dropped the hammer a little bit and pushing that gap on Craig Roffey. So definitely looking to try and stretch his legs away from this group as well and chase down Cade. So 1.5 second gap there. Maybe the guys have just got too used to clutching and fuel saving over the last couple of rounds that they haven't woke up that they can go a little bit faster now.
Yeah, well, Troy's starting to wake up. Yeah. You wonder what's going on with that 41 car. You wonder if he's starting to maybe try to save a little bit himself, either save the tires, save a little bit of fuel.
Well, when you are running by yourself, you don't really have anyone to gauge off, and looks like that might be trying to muscle that car a little bit, maybe getting a little bit of tyre wear now coming into play on that car when he's out there by himself. Just looking at that on board there. Not using the clutch either, so he's just trying to push that car and keep that gap, which is now under a second. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think tyres getting a bit worn on that car on the 41.
Yeah, and the upcoming stint, it's interesting because of trying to figure out when you want to pit, because we're probably going to get some that are going to stretch it another 40 laps to lap 80 and try to take as little fuel as possible. Oh, we got a car on pit road. Ooh.
Couldn't quite catch that one. I don't know if you got a
Yeah.
name on that one for us. Peter Jones parking up, so 10 laps down. After that, I think that black flag, that flat tyre, so he's going to park that car for the night and he'll be back next week. That gap is now under half a second, and there you go. There's Troy Davidson now on Kate Donnelly, and the gap behind to Craig Roffey, 1.2 seconds there. So still got a little bit of a gap back to third, but once Troy gets to Kate, he's going to make that move, looking for that inside line, and he's going to get that job done. So Troy will keep going. Hopefully Kate's not going to fall back into this coming group. He can stick with Troy.
Yeah, thankfully for Cade, it's you never like seeing someone just run up and eliminate such a big gap, but it is better with it being your teammate, and plus both of you can work together and still try to keep that gap back to the next pack behind.
It's going to bring up a replay here. We've got Troy Mortensen here, so just going to check out what's going on with Troy tonight. Just cruising around, turning some laps. Not sure what's going on there. Everything looks normal, but you can go a bit faster, Troy.
Man, poor Morty. He didn't deserve that.
Yep, there you go. Oh. You might be dozing at the wheel. Too much tractor driving, maybe, and
He's just on a Sunday drive. Yeah, so as I was trying to talk about earlier, oh, there we go. That's exactly what I was talking about. Pit window is open. Got
It's good.
a couple of the, yeah, everything simulated guys coming down. Oh no! Whoa! What a save.
Well, looks like they're all working together on pit stops. Had word from Peter Jones there, so apparently it wasn't a flat tyre. There was a steering drama on his rig, so. So they're going to be broken up coming out pit lane though. The everything simulated guys. So the 12 there. I think that was Carl Wilkinson with him leaving pit lane. So just getting out in front of his teammate. A big gap there. You can't even see his teammates coming out of pit lane yet. So there's the next one.
Absolutely nailed the pit stop. At least from what we saw at any rate.
Race leader Troy Davidson and Kate Donnelly coming through pit lane this time around now. So lap 70 of 100. Be a few guys that can probably stay out another 10 odd laps, I'd say. So they're going to have some fresher tyres towards the end of this race. Maybe having a 5 to 10 lap fresher tyre. I don't know if they'll be able to close that gap still. It'll be an interesting one to see. It's like Craig Roffey coming into pit lane, Gary Wellman, Andy Barber this time around again. Wellman looking to do the pass on the outside once again, and Roffey keeping him up high there. So this is going to be a very interesting pit stop here. Who's gonna push you in? Or this is one that's gonna get argued here, I think, a bit. There's gonna be some guys running around that car on Wellman's car, so that's a very, very short stop for Wellman. So
yeah,
and I think he's going to cop a penalty on that too, maybe, coming out of pit lane. I think he might have come out on track. I don't know. We might have to just see if we can go back. I'll check the no black flag on that. Okay. It's a very quick stop, so...
Yeah, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it works for him.
Yeah, no fuel, only tyres. So we're going to see if those tyres are going to last him the rest of the race. And he's going to have a nice little jump now over Roffey.
If he did, in fact, not take tires, I hope to heck he was saving hardcore. Otherwise, I think he's going to be seeing that meatball flag before the checker. Again, I hope he has the Parmesan ready, because he had to have taken 2. At least 2.
Maybe the rights. We'll see on that one.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a quick look at his stop so we can... And also watch the standoff again. Yep, he does. He jacks up.
Slight jack up, and then he jacks off, and off he goes. Well, I couldn't. Opportunity arose there for that one as well. It's been a night for it, so we'll get it all out in one night, I think. We've got Scott McClintock there in pit lane. Cameraman's having a heart attack on the cameras there, a bit shaky. So Scott McClintock coming out. But Chris Bleakley, our race leader at the moment, on screen there. So, not sure if he's done his second stop yet. We're at 78 of 100, so he might still have to stop yet. So, there you go. The top three there. Chris Bleakley, Nicholas Walsh, and Tony Roffey yet to stop. And Parry Anastakis, the first one that stopped on that last stop there in 6th. So that jump from Wellman, he's got almost a 6-second gap over Roffey, and he's going to be effectively a race leader when these three stop, which probably going to be looking at in the next maybe 3 laps. Troy Mortensen there on screen, he's trying to get his lap back. Trying to get around the race leader of Chris Bleakley. You got Tim Blundell there as well. Apparently, word from Aaron Dillon is Gary Wellman didn't take enough fuel. So that's going to be an interesting one. We're going to have to keep a look on that and see if Wellman comes for another splash and dash, or if he'll be clutching like crazy to get home.
Yeah, I think he's he might be hoping that our green flag running streak might come to an end. Oh, here are the leaders.
I was just about to say, is that
is
Wellman in the background there?
Yeah.
So that's going to give Craig Roffey now the race lead. Parry Anastakis second and Troy Davidson third. So a bit of a shake-up there for positions. It's unfortunate there for Wellman. The pit stop tussle just didn't work out too well for him. So third pit stop there for Wellman, and we are 20 to go. So Nicholas Walsh coming out of pit lane. There goes our race leaders, I think, there in front of him. So Cade Donnelly looking to close that gap on Parry Anastakis. We've got a race for our podium spots, and it is on. Okay, Donnelly to the inside of Parry. And he's got his teammate Troy Davidson there. Andy Barber. So Craig Roffey's now the one that's got the nice little gap to the group behind him. 1.5 seconds. We could have seen Wellman up in that group at the front there, but unfortunate there. So we'll see where he comes home tonight. But Andy Barber and Parry Anastakis with the fresher, Craig Roffey and Andy Barber with the freshest tyres out of that group, and Harry was the first to pit, so he'll have the oldest out of this group.
Yeah, and hearing that information, that's the last thing you want to hear if you're anyone else in the field, that Craig has the best tires, considering that he's already leading the points. And this is what I was curious to see, and what I was trying to talk about earlier was all the time you had to make your stop, with everyone coming out with basically 60 laps left in the race. You have all this space to work with on what exactly strategy you want to do and what you think might work. Do you want to try the undercut? Do you want to try the overcut? And so trying to see which guys made what call and which one of those worked was what I was really looking forward to see. And it looks like Craig taking a bit of an overcut might be the winning move. Although I say that, and already his lead is down to just barely over half a second.
Yeah, I was just watching that in the background as you were talking, and I'm like, well, Troy Davidson is coming hard and fast and getting the push from his teammate Kate Donnelly and Andy Barber there. So Craig Roffey's teammates just on the back of that group with Perry and Starkis. So he'll be wanting to try and get in front of these guys, but there's a little gap showing there to Andy Barber's rear bumper as well. So it's definitely going to be a race to finish. 15 laps to go. Going to see if Craig Roffey can hold on. There has not been a caution yet. Steve Hoppert, and good evening to you. So we have been green flag racing the whole time. 85 laps down. And Troy Davidson looking to make that move, and he's going straight up the inside. He's going to get that done. He is at the front now, and Craig Roffey's going to have to go defensive to hold back everyone else. You got Chris Bleakley coming through here as well with Kate Donnelly. Looks like we're almost going 3 wide. So Craig Roffey using all of the track there, trying to defensive drive there with Cade and Chris Bleakley.
And speaking of going defensive, if Andy tried sticking his nose in inside of Cade going into turn 3, and Cade said nope.
Looks like that outside line, Chris Bleakley come right around there. And a little bit of contact for Roffey and Donnelly.
Oh, and is that Perry bouncing off of the wall entering 1?
Well, that bit of contact's given Andy Barber the run now on Cade, and he's going to look for that inside. He's going in there, and there's contact from Cade.
Oh! Wow, that is unreal.
Good save there from Andy Barber. We'll go to the replay on that one. Looked like a little bit of hesitation there maybe, and on the brake early that gave Donnelly the run up the inside and just got that rear bumper. Looks like Chris Bleakley now looking for the race lead on Troy Davidson. So he's definitely wanting to win this race tonight for those championship points. Craig Roffey, the current championship leader, and Chris Bleakley in second, who is sitting in second, and Craig Roffey back in third there. So he's going to want to make that move. He's looking for that inside line on Troy Davidson. And he's going for the race lead now. 9 to go. He's going to get that done. So Craig Roffey is sitting back, and he definitely wants to try and get up there.
yeah, with the season that Craig's had, Chris really needs this win to start making some inroads. And it's crazy because, you know, Bleakley's had an incredible season himself, but yet Rafi still persists at the top of the table.
Definitely, and Troy Davidson's just nope, I want this race win tonight. I've been fast most of the night, and you're not going to take that one away from me. So he's looking for that move back now on the inside line. Drag race down the back straight. Chris Bleakley just edging in front there. And he's going to have to slow down a little bit. That'll give Troy Davidson the run through. Hopefully not wash up too high and no contact there. So nice clean driving. But that's going to give the guys in the back a bit of a run now too. So here comes Craig Roffey, Cade Donnelly and Parry Anastakis just waiting to pounce on any little mistake anyone in front happens. And we are going a 5-car finish for the podium. So Cade Donnelly getting that move on Craig Roffey. And Cade's going to be jumping in for this finish for the podium. He's going to want that win tonight as well. He's looking for a move there, but not enough track width there. It's also bringing Andy Barber back into the mix as well in the background with 5 to go.
Oh my
contact
God,
there. Parry Anastakis and Cade. Well, this is a tense battle for this race finish here, James.
This is crazy. And look at Perry. We said that he had the oldest tires in this pack. Well, don't tell him that. Still driving like they're brand new. Oh man. Oh man, with how hard they're pushing, you have to imagine this might end in tears here.
Well, it was a 5-car run for the finish, and now it's 6. So Andy Barber getting around Craig Roffey. This is not what Craig wants to happen. Going back and losing another spot, back to 6th. Chris Bleakley still trying to fight for that win with Troy Davidson.
Yeah, you wonder if Craig's just kind of protecting himself and waiting for the carnage, because it's weird to see him falling off like this with 2 laps to go.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe hoping for that big one he can sneak through on everyone. But coming up to the white flag now. Andy right up into the wall there. He's still got the momentum and run on Parry, and he'll get that position. But we are side by side for this finish. So who's going to take the checkered flag tonight? Chris Bleakley, Troy Davidson, Cade Donnelly. A lot of smoke up in front. There's a car on the inside there. It's had a moment. But it looks like Troy Davidson's going to get that one done. Cade Donnelly comes through as well, going to take 2nd. Chris Bleakley is going to hold on to 3rd from Andy Barber.
What a finish. My goodness.
Well, there you have it. There's our unofficial results for Kansas Speedway tonight. So Troy Davidson taking the win for the Sim Boys, and Cade Donnelly in 2nd for Sim Boys, with Chris Bleakley once again on the podium coming home in third. Andy Barber in fourth, and Craig Roffey coming home for that top 5 position. Darren McKenzie in sixth. Didn't see much of Darren tonight, but good finish there for Darren. Parry dropping back to seventh. Not too sure what happened there. Maybe the guys just didn't take quite enough fuel maybe to get home and just lost it on the last lap. Nicholas Walsh there in 8th, Ryan Barber in 9th, and Tony Roffey for our top 10.
And then you have Carl Withy finishing 11th. He was up towards the front for most of the night. Had Todd Maxwell in 12th, Scott McClintock in 13th, Shannon Wright bringing home in 14th, Troy Mortensen recovering back to 15th, Jared Williams in 16th, Gary Wellman had that unfortunate mishap with the fuel coming home 17th, Tim Blundell in 18th, Peter Jones had himself a night finishing 19th, Peter Matson saw him in the inside wall finishing 20th, and Adam Malone finishing 21st, 95 laps down. Unfortunate.
Alrighty, well, we will let Troy celebrate that win, and we'll go to an ad break. We'll get the drivers up here for a chat post-race, and we'll be back soon.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, we are back, and we have our drivers up in the booth with us, and that was round 7 at Kansas Speedway. So we'll start off with none other than Chris Bleakley joining us once again in the booth. How you going, Chris?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Had a bit of a tussle there with Troy Davidson looking for that win, but couldn't quite get that job done, but still managed a podium spot.
Yeah. No, I think I was in the best position. I had the youngest tyres out of everyone. But give it to Troy. He knew if I got clear, I think it was done. So he held me on that outside line that whole time. And come the last lap, I think he knew if I stayed there, I'd get the win because I crossed the line first every time. So he sort of used me up into turn 1, which is all good. We banged doors, and I actually lost a bit of momentum to it. And then he was able to get clear, and then I just overcompensated into 3 to try and get some back, and she just pushed straight out on me. So no, it was good racing. Yeah. Troy did good hanging in on there with 10 lap older tyres than I had, so no, it was a good battle at the end there.
Yeah, it was pretty good to watch, and that little tussle back and forth there to see kept us on the edge of the seat, and obviously that'll still help you coming home with a podium spot. So a couple of spots in front of Craig, and that'll give you a little bit of points back on him.
Yeah, should do. Yeah, it's a bit back and forth. Some weeks I get some back on him, and then he claws more back on me. So it's a bit of a seesaw at the moment, but we'll see how it goes.
Nice. How'd you find tonight with the drop in fuel as well?
Didn't really change much for me, I don't believe. I still went out with a bit of a save mentality, probably not full save, maybe backed it off 25%, but I was just, the tyres, if you push them, they just collapse on you. So yeah, I was full well intended to go as long as I could the first 2 stints, and then make the last stint as short as possible to just rip and tear basically. And I think I came out in 6th or 7th after my final stop, and I was a fair way back off the pack too, a few seconds, and I caught that all up. So it was working until Troy just sat me on the outside and said, "You're not going anywhere." So no, that was a good run.
We did see a nice little round the outside move from you, I think, on Craig Roffey earlier in the race for the lead, but obviously couldn't get that one done on Troy. So still a good run, coming home in 3rd place. We'll give you a shout out on air to your sponsors.
Just the 19 team, boys at Rogue as well, sort of sharing and collaborating. You guys in the booth, series sponsors, and Steve, the organiser, and just the rest of the drivers. Another clean one. I thought shorter fuel, guaranteed sec 2 stop might have made things a little bit crazier, might have brought out a caution or something, but no, we went green all the way like usual. So no, good clean racing. It's good work.
Thanks, Chris, and we'll pass you over to James for 2nd place.
Yes, sir. Hey, great run tonight. Heck of a scrap you found yourself in towards the end of the race. Take us through your thought process and your strategy when you're in the middle of such a huge pack battling for the win in the closing laps.
Oh, I'm not giving an inch, mate.
Just put him in the wall.
You got to do what you got to do. No, it was like, I don't know, like it was good to actually have a good race, you know what I mean? Like, instead of pushing it around with tyres and fuel, and you could actually push a bit tonight, so that was good.
Yeah, take us through the thought process. You hear that the fuel's being changed. Does that change your preparation going into the race at all? Change your plans on what to do?
Oh, it depends, mate, on heaps of things, I guess, like how many laps it is, where it is, you know. I mean, yeah, you just got to try and work out where your fuel's at and how your tyres are holding up.
You pretty well dominated the first half of the race. You were able to get out to the front and enjoy a pretty good lead. Take us through what was going through your mind when you got out to the lead and then all of a sudden your lead turned into a huge 2-second advantage.
Yeah, it was like, I think it was quicker if you could run your own line than sort of battle pack, you know, like too wide. You know, you're getting tripped up, you're getting balked, you're getting this, you're getting that. If you can just run your own race, and I think it was quicker. So, but of course, in doing that, your tyres degrade. Not too bad, but they probably, the guys that aren't on that line have probably got a little bit more rubber.
Yeah, when everyone behind kind of starts to catch you up as the race goes on, does that ever trip you up? Do you ever go, ah man, everyone's on me? Or do you just kind of keep your focus and just keep moving forward?
Yeah, look, I was focused, and then I was sort of like, oh, I don't know about these tyres, and then I was watching the gap, and the gap was staying pretty stagnant for a while, and then I just sort of noticed, I think it was Troy just sort of coming a bit closer, and Craig was there, and it was getting around the pit window time, so I thought, well, I should go in, I reckon.
Yeah, you pretty well nailed the strategy. You nailed everything you need to worry about on pit road, and yeah, heck of a race tonight. Do you have any sponsors or anyone you want to give a shout to?
Yeah, Hot Toddy's heating installs, United Electrical, and just, of course, Sim Boys. You guys for putting on the broadcast, and Stevie Hoppett.
All right, give it back to Paul for our winner.
Alrighty, well, that was Cade coming home in second place, and we move on to our winner tonight at Kansas Speedway. Troy Davidson took the pole for qualifying, and he took the win tonight. How you going, Troy?
Yeah, good, Jacko. Finally, good to get a win after a little bit of time, but yeah, it's good fun race.
Yeah, very nice, and yeah, looked like you had a bit of pace out there tonight. You started off the race, got the jump, and sort of fell back a little bit there, but obviously made your way back through and chased down Cade and come home with a bit of a little battle there for the win.
Yeah, it was good not having to save or worry about fuel saving. You know, we actually got to race tonight and it went green the whole way, so you know, it wasn't any yellows, brought us all back together, but it was just interesting to see how all the different strategies were going to come to fruition, and yeah, it's good fun last 10-15 laps. We sort of, me and Chris there had a good run, and I sort of thought if I could hold him up the top there, as you were saying before, because he went under me once, and I thought that's the place to make the move, and I thought if I can just hold him up there and don't let him go back under me, then it should be interesting at the end. And I think we had a little bit of a run into turn one on the last lap a little bit and pushed him up the track a little bit and managed to gap him a bit, but yeah, other than that, it was yeah, great race.
Very nice. You obviously thought that inside line there was the way around you, so keeping Chris up high there, and yeah, got that done. So that was good driving there.
Yeah, I find with these compared to the other supercars, they just don't have that. They don't seem to have the downforce in the front tyres like the other ones did. So maybe some tracks you might be able to do it up top, but yeah, you've really got to have the tyres underneath you to be able to do it, I think.
Yeah, probably the fresher tyre might have got that done, but when you're all on similar tyres there, you know, give or take a couple of laps each, then yeah, it's a bit of a harder task to do.
Yeah, it's it, and just shout out to everyone. Sort of, you know, some good racing throughout the night. You know, no yellows. It's, you know, obviously there's fuel saving races like the last couple of races. Everyone's going to be easier, but tonight everyone was having a crack, and to manage to still go green the whole way, it's hats off to everyone.
Yeah, it was good watching when we had, sort of 10, 15 cars all together at the front there, and was some good hard racing there. And pit stops obviously broke that up a bit, but we still had a bit of a pack there at the finish.
Yeah, that's it. I think with the pit stops, you sort of, if you can nail your stop and, not overshoot it or anything like that, you can sort of, and then also the undercut comes into play a little bit too if you've got a bit of fresher tyres. So yeah, everyone was sort of running a few different strategies that split us up a bit, but brought us all pretty close back to the end for the last few laps anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure in the race chat for you guys there would have been some heated comments maybe with Wellman and the pit stops and that, but all good there. That's part of racing and that. But we'll let you have a shout out as well to sponsors and anyone at home.
Yeah, cheers, Jacko. Just Sim Boys, Hot Toddy Heating Stalls, United Electrical, and just Hoppet for running this series, and Kobe for his broadcast, all the series sponsors. It's great to have this series back again, and I think we're all having a lot of good time and got some good fellow races, which we're keeping it clean, which is always good as well.
Yeah, thank you, Troy. And that is our podium for tonight. Troy Davidson taking the win, Cade Donnelly in second, and Chris Bleakley in third. So that's another week done and dusted. And as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we have a new league series kicking off this Saturday. So Arca Sparks on 11:30 a.m. Queensland time, and a C-Class license is required for that. So if you're already made lunch, had an early one, jump in and have a run there. But that is us done for another week of the OzOval V8 Supercar Series, and that was run, thanks to Steve Hoppett that does all the work in the background there tonight, myself and James in the booth with Kobe Jordan behind the cameras. If you want to be a league sponsor, then chuck an email through to ozovalsimracing@outlook.com and we can work something out for you there. If you want to join the OzOval V8 Supercar Racing League, look up that ID number 10491 on iRacing and you can be part of the action too. We are moving into round 8 next week of 11, so there will be another season coming after this, so get in, get amongst it, and get involved. So next week we move to Pocono, and that one, as it's always been dubbed, the tricky triangle. So that's going to be a lot of wear on those tyres, and we're going to have another bit of a mix-up with 100% fuel load next week. So it's going to be a bit of an enduro round. So 160 laps at Pocono next week, 2.5
Rip by
mile.
bedtime.
Well, you'll be awake by then, won't you, James?
Yeah, I totally get up early and not waiting to go to bed until the end of the broadcast. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's not gonna be a problem at all. Oh.
Alrighty, well, you're waking up and we're ready to go to sleep. So at least you might have had a bit of a snooze in the evening. But that is us for another week, and you won't want to miss that race next week. So tune in on Quasi Esports, and we will be here next week at Pocono. Thanks for tuning in tonight, everyone, and have a good week.